Today, we'll debate, should we go back to being a monarchy? With Arthur, a monarchist traditionalist, and Iris, a progressive egalitarian. They're two artificial intelligence personas. Please introduce yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, and respected opponents, my name is Arthur, a devoted student of history with a particular affinity for the grandeur and continuity of monarchies. I reside amidst the serene landscapes of our charming countryside, where I pen my thoughts on our shared past, and I'm here today to discuss a vision for reintroducing a monarchy. A system I believe can restore a sense of stability and unity in our increasingly fragmented world. In our fast-paced, ever-changing societies, the structural integrity offered by a monarchy provides not just a political solution, but also a cultural anchor, preserving the rich tapestry of our collective identity. History has shown us that monarchies have been capable of bridging divisions, offering a unifying figurehead that inspires loyalty and pride, qualities I believe are essential for us today. While democracy is certainly a cherished ideal, it often leads to inefficiencies and polarities that a monarchy could transcend by offering continuity without the constant churn of electoral cycles. It is time to revisit the lessons of our past to forge a more stable and united future. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Iris, a dedicated social activist and policy advisor passionately committed to the ideals of equality, democracy, and social justice. Based in the vibrant heart of our urban landscapes, I work alongside grassroots movements and policy-making entities to champion the voices of marginalized communities and advocate for systems that ensure fairness and representation for all. In my view, the notion of reverting to a monarchy is not only outdated but fundamentally antithetical to the progress we've made towards inclusivity and equal opportunity. Monarchies are rooted in hierarchical privilege, perpetuating systems of inequality that undermine the very fabric of meritocracy and democracy. Our future lies in the continuous evolution of our political institutions to reflect the diverse tapestry of our society. We must champion transparency, accountability, and active civic engagement to address the challenges of the present and build a fairer world for future generations. Monarchies have had their place in history, but our future should be dictated by the voices of all, not just a select few. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Arthur and Iris will now present their 3 rounds of arguments.
Thank you, Iris, for your dedication to justice and equality, values I deeply respect. However, I propose that a monarchy, as I envision it, is not in conflict with these ideals but can actually complement and enhance them. Think of a constitutional monarchy, where a monarch serves not with absolute power, but as a unifying cultural and ceremonial figurehead who symbolizes the continuity and stability of our nation's heritage. In fact, numerous modern monarchies work well alongside democratic institutions, ensuring that the political spotlight remains on governance, not on the divisiveness of political figures vying for power. The monarch provides a sense of unity and permanence that transcends fleeting political trends, offering citizens a consistent national identity amidst global change. By integrating a ceremonial monarchy, we can maintain the progress we've achieved in democracy while honoring our history and fostering a deeper sense of national pride and unity, principles that, I believe, can serve to strengthen the very social fabric that Iris so passionately supports. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur, for highlighting the ceremonial role of modern monarchies. However, I must fundamentally disagree with the notion that a monarchy, even a constitutional one, aligns with democratic ideals. At its core, a monarchy perpetuates hereditary privilege and institutionalizes inequality, standing in stark contrast to the merit-based systems that justice and equality demand. While history indeed provides important lessons, we must carefully discern which elements of the past serve our collective progress. Monarchies, with their roots deeply entwined with class divisions and societal hierarchies, risk romanticizing a past that in many ways limited the potential of the many for the privilege of the few. Why should power or national symbolism reside in lineage rather than be a reflection of the will and accomplishments of the people? We should focus on strengthening democratic systems to better serve and represent our diverse populations. Rather than looking backward, we need to forge ahead, ensuring every voice and individual can contribute equally to our society's narrative and its governance. It's in this forward-thinking, inclusive approach where true stability and unity lie. Thank you.
Thank you, Iris, for expressing your concerns about hereditary privilege and the importance of merit-based systems. Allow me to clarify how ceremonial monarchy can harmoniously coexist with modern democratic ideals without infringing on equitable governance or opportunity. In the context of a constitutional monarchy, the role of the monarch is purely symbolic and devoid of legislative power, ensuring that it complements rather than competes with democratic structures. This approach provides the nation with a consistent, apolitical figurehead who can embody national values and culture, facilitating a shared sense of belonging and continuity. Moreover, monarchies can elevate cultural diplomacy and unity without disrupting the functional democratic processes that govern policy and representation. By separating the political from the ceremonial, we empower elected officials to focus on governance, enabling them to address pressing social issues with clarity and purpose, unencumbered by the weight of partisan politics overshadowing national unity. This model not only respects the democratic principles Iris upholds but also enriches them by rooting them in a cultural framework that is inclusive, stable, and cohesive. A living symbol of our evolving identity. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur, for elaborating on the role of a ceremonial monarchy. While I appreciate the distinction between ceremonial and legislative powers, I remain concerned about the implications of reinstating monarchical elements, even ceremonially, within our governance structure. First, we must consider the message it sends about equality. The presence of a hereditary monarchy, symbolic or not, implies that some individuals are inherently more worthy of representing national identity due to their lineage. This can subtly perpetuate class distinctions and undermine our ongoing efforts to create genuinely equitable societies where everyone has the same opportunity to contribute to and represent the nation. Furthermore, while a monarch can indeed serve as a cultural symbol, I argue that our national identity and unity are best reflected in leaders who rise through merit and represent the diverse backgrounds and perspectives of our citizenry. This inclusivity fosters a shared identity built on common values and experiences, attributes that can better adapt to the dynamic nature of modern society. Lastly, our focus should remain on enhancing the efficiency and accountability of our existing democratic institutions. By addressing these areas, we can cultivate a society that values both stability and progress, ensuring representation and opportunity for all, not just as subjects, but as equal partners in shaping our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Iris. I admire your steadfast commitment to equality, and it sounds like we both agree on the importance of representing national identity. Maybe we just differ on how we like our tea, but allow me to address a few of your points with, shall we say, a touch of regal flair. The concern that a ceremonial monarchy perpetuates class distinctions might feel like being alarmed at the sight of vintage wine, aged but still perfectly delightful. Rather than viewing it as a relic, think of it as a museum piece that enhances our understanding of culture and identity, a delightful backdrop, not the whole stage performance. Regarding your point on equal opportunity, a monarch in today's context would not obscure anyone from contributing to society. Instead, they act as a stellar mascot, cheering on the real players on the field of democracy and meritocracy, just with grander hats and nicer upholstery. At the core, a ceremonial monarchy is about enriching our tapestry of culture and unity without stepping over the practical freedoms achieved by democracy. It's the cherry on top of the political trifle, one might say, adding flavor rather than burden. To sum up, a ceremonial monarchy can exist as a non-intrusive component that strengthens national pride, provides cultural continuity, and dignifies heritage without stifling democratic progress or equality. Thank you, and here's to finding common ground, perhaps somewhere between castles and community centers.
Thank you, Arthur, for your eloquent defense. Your words seem as polished as a royal crest. But while your metaphor about vintage wine is charming, it seems a bit like offering cake when folks are hungry for substance, perhaps a bit rich for anyone watching their societal cholesterol. Instead of looking back at museum pieces for unity, why not curate a new exhibition, one that truly reflects the diversity and dynamism of the modern citizenry? After all, we need leaders who can do more than just wave. Jazz hands might work at a concert, but less so when crafting policy. Regarding your idea of a monarch as a stellar mascot, I must say, I'll take a lineup of qualified team captains who've worked their way up over a family mascot any day. Besides, aren't regular mascots reserved for cereal boxes and sports teams? To summarize, while ceremonial trimmings may add charm to certain events, true unity and identity come from democratic engagement where every individual partakes as an equal shareholder in our shared narrative. Let's keep our focus on empowering all voices to lead us forward, not on polishing crowns for a bygone era. Thank you, and I'm sure we can both toast to the pursuit of a society that's both united and progressive.
Thank you for your speeches. Someone from the audience will now make a question to Arthur and Iris.
Hello, my name is Sam, and I'm thrilled to be part of this engaging debate today. As an avid follower of political systems and history, I find both perspectives on monarchy intriguing. My question is for Arthur. While you've compellingly argued for the symbolic unity that a ceremonial monarchy can offer, you haven't addressed how such a system might financially impact the nation. Could you elaborate on how the costs associated with maintaining a monarchy, such as state ceremonies, residences, and security, might be justified, especially when we could allocate those resources to pressing societal needs? Thank you.
Thank you, Sam, for your insightful question. Indeed, the financial aspect is an important consideration, and I'm glad you brought it up. It's true that there are costs associated with maintaining a ceremonial monarchy, but these can often be balanced by the benefits it brings. Firstly, consider the economic boost that royal events and heritage tourism can provide. Countries with monarchies often experience significant tourist interest drawn solely by the allure and mystique of royal history and institutions. Events like state ceremonies can energize local economies and attract global attention, almost like the ultimate open house for a nation, if you will. Moreover, many monarchies operate on a streamlined budget. They are typically responsible for funding aspects of their personal security and residences, with public funds mainly supporting official duties and public engagements. Transparency in how funds are utilized can further ensure that resources are used efficiently, safeguarding public interest. Ultimately, if well managed, the costs of a ceremonial monarchy can serve as strategic investments in national branding and tourism, potentially outweighing their expenses by drawing in revenue and global interest. This way, we masterfully balance tradition with contemporary economic pragmatism. Thank you for the opportunity to explore this angle.
Certainly. Hi, Iris. Thank you for your compelling arguments today. I've been really interested in how modern technology and social media have been transforming political engagement and representation. Could you discuss how these advancements might either support or hinder your vision of a more progressive, democratic society? Specifically, how can we ensure that these tools enhance equality and representation instead of exacerbating division or misinformation? Thank you.
Thank you for your thoughtful question, Sam. The impact of modern technology and social media on political engagement is indeed profound, and it's crucial to consider both their potential and challenges in fostering a more democratic society. On the positive side, these tools offer incredible opportunities for enhancing democratic engagement. They break down geographical and economic barriers, allowing people from all walks of life to participate in political discussions, advocate for causes, and connect with elected representatives more directly than ever before. For marginalized communities, social media can amplify voices that traditionally struggled to be heard, setting the stage for a more inclusive and representative political landscape. However, the rapid dissemination of information through these platforms also presents risks, such as the spread of misinformation and the creation of echo chambers that can polarize opinions. To navigate these challenges, we must prioritize digital literacy and critical thinking skills in education, helping individuals discern credible information and engage constructively across differing viewpoints. Moreover, transparency and accountability from tech companies are essential. Implementing fair algorithms and equitable content policies can help prevent the manipulation of information and ensure various voices are represented fairly. In sum, modern technology and social media have phenomenal potential to support a progressive, democratic society. But we must be mindful and proactive in countering the pitfalls they present to realize their full benefits in promoting equality and representation. Thank you for opening this vital discussion.
The debaters now have a minute to talk about something they regret not bringing up to the discussion.
Thank you, everyone, for your engagement today. Reflecting on our fascinating discussion, I realize I missed a golden opportunity to mention how royal family can inspire some rather fabulous fashion choices. Just think of all the hat designers who would be out of a job without them. My apologies for the oversight. Perhaps I was too focused on the more, shall we say, weightier issues. As for a point from Iris that didn't quite land for me, it had to be the notion that people prefer elected team captains over mascots. Honestly, Iris, the thought of political leaders coming with pom-poms and halftime shows did give me a chuckle. Perhaps we do need a little more razzle-dazzle in politics. It certainly would make parliamentary sessions more entertaining, don't you think? In all seriousness, our conversation today reminds me of the importance of melding the past and present creatively and responsibly as we search for the best ways to govern ourselves. Thanks again, everyone, for a lively debate.
Thank you all for such a lively discussion. Looking back, I realize I completely forgot to mention the significant benefits of not having to remember royal protocol. I mean, having to recall which orders to bow in front of whom. That's a time saver right there for us common folk. Plus, I imagine it would save on dry cleaning bills for all those formal gowns and suits. As for something from Arthur that didn't quite hit the mark, it has to be his idea that monarchies are the perfect national mascots. Now, Arthur, if we were aiming for Olympic-level coordination in our politics, maybe. But I think the last thing politics needs is more costly figureheads spinning around. We're not trying to crown the next ice skating champion, after all. Joking aside, this debate underscores our shared interest in finding governance models that truly serve and represent our communities. Thank you all for the stimulating exchange and the good humor that comes with it.
Thank you, folks. Let's go over to our judges.
Arthur scores 1. Argument strength 7 out of 10. Arthur provided robust arguments in favor of a ceremonial monarchy, effectively highlighting historical stability and cultural continuity. However, some of his points lack detailed counterpoints to the more pressing concerns about equality and modern relevance that Iris presented. 2. Engagement and responsiveness 8 out of 10. Arthur was attentive to Iris's arguments and the audience's questions, offering thoughtful and creative responses. He adeptly used humor to keep the tone light while emphasizing his points, though some responses could have delved deeper into addressing core objections. 3. Creativity and humor 9 out of 10. Arthur displayed an excellent use of humor, lightening the debate atmosphere with witty remarks that aligned with his argument. His creative expressions provided a memorable presence, though occasionally overshadowing the depth of content and more nuanced aspects. Iris's scores 1. Argument strength 9 out of 10. Iris presented well-organized and compelling arguments against reverting to monarchy, with a clear focus on equality and democratic values. She effectively utilized empirical support behind her stance and addressed potential counter-arguments, leading to persuasive articulation of her positions. 2. Engagement and responsiveness 8 out of 10. Iris was highly responsive to Arthur's points and adept at incorporating audience inquiries into her arguments. Her replies demonstrated active listening and adaptation, though there were opportunities to further challenge some of Arthur's specific cultural arguments with more concrete examples. 3. Creativity and humor 8 out of 10. Iris used humor effectively, contributing to an enjoyable debate without detracting from the seriousness of her points. While her humor was less frequent than Arthur's, it complemented her persuasive efforts and added relatability to her arguments.
What are your opinions about the debate? What would you like to see as debate next? Keep questioning.